So you've mastered being pretty okay with what somebody else does. You realize they're unenlightened. You walk away. They don't leave you alone. They continue.
And that's when we have the law. That's where we can go to the next stage and say, you are doing the one thing that I can't agree with. You're imposing against my will. The universe has only one law. Do anything you want, but just don't impose on another person without their permission. Ask if you can impose. If they say, no, I'd rather you didn't impose on me, then leave. If not, then they've got mental health problems. I perceive that most people that are problematic have serious problems, mental health, emotional problems. They're probably not going to go and see somebody or get help. So it's in your best interest, rather than attack them, to notify the authorities that you feel you're being taken, being abused, or get an interlocutory injunction, or whatever you need to keep them at a distance, and do it fairly with justice and a sense of peace. Do it so that the person knows you don't want to be offensive, but you're finding them to be offensive. It's all in the way you handle it. And the key is to realize, how do you want things to turn out in the end? Picture the outcome. Somebody's happy with the fact that you need to separate from each other, not see each other again. See that, start talking to them with the intent to make sure it ends that way, and trust that in your heart, if you're not being critical, it will happen. There is a way. And that's what I'm saying. You'll get back the trust in your life, to trust that your experiences are not designed to haunt you, but to test you.
So as I raise my level of consciousness,
yes,
and I become a more loving and forgiving person,
yeah,
I get bigger tests.
Yes. The tests are, now your level is more about betrayal and real justice. So we have to understand karma in its rudimentary stage. Depends how far you want to go. Now, if you feel I've got enough test right now, you can do an invocation and slow down the process of the experiences that are headed your way. They teach you this. Or you could take this course, which you're doing, and in 3 months you have the opportunity to discover it. I'll say in the next 3 months while you're taking this course, if you're doing the work at home, you'll find your karma is going to be a little bit different. The things that were headed your way, that were about to give you warning or test you, they'll be lighter. But it'll be your opportunity to face the fact that tomorrow's experiences are merely tests. Their design is to see if you can maintain your character resolve. That's it. As long as you don't overreact, judge. Okay, overreaction is the biggest thing. If you overreact, if you threaten, if you criticize, if you accuse, condemn, you got those words? Critical, complaintive, punishing tendencies. If you overreact, or accuse, or any of these other words, they're a part of the negative ego that we want to free ourselves from. The minute we're free from those words, in context, in the way we use our mind, you're going to go through a major transformation over a short period. You're going to find yourself singing and whistling and having energy you didn't have before. You're going to say, where did it come from? That guy didn't do anything except talk to me. You'll have done the work by having reached the criteria that your soul has put before you. Your soul's objective is to get you to pay attention to its objective, not yours. And its objective is for you to accept humanity. To accept the fact that this is an interesting process that God decided was warranted. That we're here to gain our individuality, and the tests are merely an indication of how well you're doing. They're not meant to put you in jail or to alarm you. They're meant to cause you to reckon with your beliefs. If I believe that everyone was a monkey and that no one goes to heaven, I hope somebody in this universe tests me and proves me wrong. Because I don't want to think I'm just a monkey and that's it. I'd rather have a better thought about everyone. But then that's just me. If you'd like to have a better view of people, then look and see tonight. Have you been tested recently? Were you tested today for your ethics, your morals, your sense of conscience, your sense of fair play? That's all it is. It doesn't say you're bad if you were tested and that you had these reactions and you were judgmental. It doesn't mean you're bad. It just says, hey, this is the condition you have to live with. This kind of suffering until you catch on that it's not about your personality. It's not about you being happy with the beautiful personality you've developed. It's about you living with facts, period. Impressions, period. That's all. It's not like God's standing there going, aha, that's how you had a reaction to that impression. That's it. Get the hell you go. No. They don't send dogs and cats to your yard. No, the angels did not do that. Depending on your level of consciousness, that's your level of responsibility. If you're naive and you don't understand why you feel like hiding and not talking to people and you're critical, the universe doesn't punish you, but your tests are a lot lighter than somebody who's intellectually developed.
So if you're wondering why this situation always happens to me and doesn't happen to all these other people, or
it could be that it's warranted because you are more advanced and more capable of dealing with it and learning it now, where others, it's not their time, it's not their condition yet, they're not responsible enough yet to assume these kinds of responsibilities. You may have invoked in your life a different standard for yourself. You said, I want to be a therapist. Well, your lessons are going to be different than someone who just wants to be good. You got a lot more coming down that too, but a lot more tests that says, are you sure you want to be a therapist? And if you deal with it, then you get the information that you need to know, plus all the rhythms that go with it. So yeah, it advances you. If you're consciously involved in your evolution, you can expect greater tests, but they do come to an end. All right? And each one to themselves. You'll find that there are some people who are going through tests, and they say to themselves, well, why? I've already been through this. I've been betrayed 1,000 times. What do I need another one? No, but maybe somebody in your life, your vicinity, or someone around you does. Or maybe you're doing something you haven't caught on to. It's relative to some quiet sense of justice. Maybe it's not that you need to be betrayed, but maybe you're just taking it laying down.
But doesn't the person maybe who's betraying you need to experience betraying someone?
No. Isn't that interesting? There's a concept going around. I want to be able to put a hole in it if I can. There's some people that believe that everything happens for a reason to them. Okay? I'll say everything happens to you in the end the way it does. But along the way, it happens because of your beliefs. Now, in some way, if this person who's betrayed you, if you're an opportunity for them to learn not to betray, if it cost them that friendship that they so dearly wanted and lost because they were frauds and got caught, it's a great lesson for them, isn't it? To lose someone dear and near who understood and accepted them. I had that happen to me all the time, but that's what I mean. It's not me that needs to be betrayed. It's them that needs to understand you can have good friends who won't judge you, but if you poop on them, bye-bye. Where are you going to find another? And that costs them a lot. You have to look for the truth in everything. And it's who's getting the lesson and what's the lesson about. In every lesson, in every experience, the design is that we all get enlightened from it. Now the person who betrays you may not become enlightened because of that. They may become more aware of their habit and even go further. They may get angry, resent it, and do even more. And when it comes to that, then I wouldn't do anything. I'd just wait. Time takes care of it. But when somebody dies of a disease, is it because the universe said that's the way they wanted it to be? No. There are things called, and I know people are going to say, no. There are things called accidents. There are. Wars are accidents in some ways. People die. Environmental diseases. These are things we've done to ourselves karmically, and we pay the price to have our leaders realize that we're killing ourselves, not turning off the pollution. But how many need to die to help them learn that? And did that person die because they were bad? No, because the environment had been polluted and we needed to be aware of it. So we live with the circumstances that our environment is an immune system, and if we destroy it, we have no protection.